When we're sitting on a board and the CEO of an early stage company comes in and says everything is perfect, you're wondering, it's an early stage company, it has risk. There should be a point in the middle of the night that he's waking up and is worried. It's the same thing. Showing that openness about both good things and the challenges you're facing with your limited partners gets you a lot of credit. Venture capital is the best job in the world because you get to constantly learn in a constantly changing environment from entrepreneurs who know a lot about the latest, newest technology, and they're passionate about it, so it makes it fun. So what got me to tech and VC? We all have our own story, the funny path of how we got here. I actually started taking computer science at Stanford before it was an undergraduate major. Kind of kept that, interest alive, but because it was the last recession in the 80s, I took a job at a bank. At Bank of America, and at one point in the late 80s, the senior managers were looking around and they needed somebody to manage IT in my division, and I was the only one who'd taken computer science, so we were the first bank to have a URL, the first bank to have online banking. And that's really what led me to investing in technology as an investor, and haven't looked back because it's been fun and it's accelerated what I love so much about it in the first place. But one of the questions with respect to relationships that comes up a lot with limited partners and VCs is what kind of relationship should you have? What kind of communication should you have? Honesty is the best policy. We're in the business of taking risks, so therefore the more transparent you are about both the good things that happen and the not so good things that happen, the better a relationship you'll have. I found over the years that sometimes the biggest compliments have not come only when I've given good news, and particularly cash, back to our investors. That's our job. But also when I've shared with them the biggest challenges. They appreciate that. They get insight into how we make decisions because they're making a long-term commitment to us and have to have confidence in that. And I think they get that out of that kind of communication. So one of the hardest things about being a VC is not being able to give people capital and turning down an opportunity from a passionate entrepreneur who loves what they do. And it may not be ready, the time may not be right for the company, it may not be right for us. You know there's a glimmer there, but it just isn't at least going to work out between the two of you. That's hard because there always is something there, both in the person and in their idea. That's a very hard thing to do. And as you go through a company's life or working with an entrepreneur side by side, the ups and downs, there's a lot of learning that happens in the downs. Think about the lean startup. Think about agile programming. Failure is feedback, and if we all think of it that way, we'll be better in the end.